Well, Mega Evolution Act 4 is going to be an interesting act. Pokemon! 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 Hello everyone, I'm Dustin, Benzel, and welcome to another Pokemon XY anime discussion. This also relates to the games, but I'm not going to make this a regular Pokemon discussion because this is heavily revolved around the anime because it deals with the Mega Evolution acts. And this regard is in regards to Zygarde and, of course, Blobby. That's my tentative name for the green creature thing or whatever that you're going to see. So basically what we have here is Zygarde and this green Pokemon, this green blobby weird thing, is going to be in Mega Evolution Act 4. At least I'm pretty sure, judging by the image that you were seeing right now. I think it's all connected to Mega Evolution Act 4. Let me actually get up the picture for myself. Alright, sorry about that. I had issues apparently. Anyway, so yeah, well, it seems like this green blob creature is going to be in Mega Evolution Act 4, but it just might be the Pokemon movie. I'm not really sure. So apparently, okay, so what we got here is we got something interesting. The green Pokemon creatures or whatever have relation to the giant creature thing that we saw a shadow of it. You know, that giant thing that we think is a Zygarde form or a new Zygarde Mega Evolution or something. It is related to the green Pokemon, and we're going to find out next month what that relation is. Speaking of Mega Evolution Act 4, however, we also see that Zygarde is going to be in Mega Evolution Act 4. Now, I assume that means it's going to be partially related to the giant shadow creature, if it is related. Well, because there's also one interesting thing that Cerebi did actually forget to mention, is that the Coro Coro said that this parent new Pokemon is similar in color to Zygarde. Cerebi didn't exactly say that, I don't think. It says, Coro Coro states the information on the green blob and the large shadow and the relation to the TV anime. Okay, so actually Cerebi did not mention this at all. Coro Coro actually is the one that said, and also hints that the small creature is somehow related to the large silhouetted creatures seen in last month's Coro Coro and the teaser. So Cerebi didn't actually mention that. Maybe I did read it properly. I thought I misread it, but apparently not. Cerebi didn't actually say that. Cerebi wasn't as detailed apparently as that. But apparently Bulbapedia says that Coro Coro says that it's heavily similar to Zygarde, and that the small creature is related to the large silhouette creature. I don't know who's right, so basically go with it's possibly related. So it says that the small creatures are the same color basically as Zygarde, the green part, and that the green creatures are related to the shadows. So that would therefore imply that potentially that large creature is definitely related to Zygarde. Especially when the Pokedex entry, it specifically says that Zygarde, when the world goes into disarray as a result of the ecosystem being out of imbalance, it shows up and reveals its great power. At least I believe it's great power. Let me actually go to its Pokedex entry and specifically say what it exactly is. Really, Bulbapedia? You have all the links to the other Pokemon, but you didn't have one for Zygarde. Thanks. When the Kalos region's ecosystem falls into disarray, it appears and reveals its secret power. Now, of course, that would obviously possibly mean the Great Shadow. Or not the Great Shadow, the giant silhouette of that Pokemon that we've seen or whatever. And not to mention, also, Zygarde does indeed have a unique move. Well, yeah, It's called Land's Wrath. And, of course, that would make sense. Land's Wrath. Zygarde is basically Mother Nature, Captain Planet. It like, mediates the Earths. Like, I think Xerneas is more about life in general. Evil Tall is just about destruction of that or whatever. But Zygarde is basically the inverse, basically. Zygarde just cares about the planet, basically. It's the planet. It makes sure the planet is fine, everything is okay, so that would explain that. So yeah, Zygarde is definitely a strong contender to be in the next movie because of this giant creature and these little creatures. Now again, I don't know if these little creatures are like poison types or if they're brand new Pokemon themselves, but it definitely is implied that it does seem to have a symbiotic relationship with that giant shadow, that giant Pokemon that we don't know what it is. So yeah, I guess we're going to see. I also have a theory in just a moment that I will explain, but I want to talk a little bit about Mega Evolution Act 4 right now. So we basically got a poster in that image, and of course I'll re-show it again. We have Mega Aggron, Zygarde, Mega Houndoom, Mega Bayonet, Mega Pinsir, Mega Venusaur, Mega Alakazam, Mega Charizard X, Alon, and Marin. So Marin is going to be in Mega Evolution Act 4. In case anyone was worried about that, she is going to appear. She also has Chespin. This is pretty interesting because I don't know if this means that the Quilladin or whatever we possibly saw may indeed be Clement's, or it might still be Marin's. Maybe Marin's Chespin evolves within Mega Evolution Act 4. We still have no idea what this means, and of course the obvious explanation for why there's a Quilladin is basically because it's with the other middle starters, so it'd be weird to have Frogadier, Braixen, and Quilladin, or no. Braixen and Frogadier and Chespin, just because it relates to the anime. It would make more sense that it would use all three middle stage starters of the 6th generation. So it might just be, it might be nothing. We might be overlooking it or whatever. So yeah. Zygarde's going to be the main star of Mega Evolution Act 4. I don't necessarily think that means anything. It might mean that Mega Evolution or the movie XY might be relating to Team Flare, maybe. Because if Zygarde's going to be in here and Zygarde's going to have a major role in Mega Evolution Act 4, you would think that Xerneas and Yveltal would also have a relation within the actual anime, and if this new shadow is, of course, an alternative form or Mega Evolution of Zygarde, and is Zygarde's secret power, then how's the anime going to do it? Is the anime going to lead up to the final showdown within the movie, and that's when it gets resolved, and therefore you have to watch both the anime and the movie to get the Team Flare resolution? Or is it going to be like, well, okay, we're going to look at, or is it going to be like Team Plasma in 5th gen, where Looker, I believe it happened afterwards, where Looker was looking in a cave and found some Team Plasma information, or no, that was Team Galactic, never mind. Forget I said anything, that's right. Looker was definitely, yeah, whatever, blah, 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 never mind. That was Team Galactic. I was like, yeah, remember that train episode with Dawn and Brock in 5th generation? Remember that? Looker bought lunches, and then at the end there was that whole Team Plasma. Sorry, wrong generation, sorry. Woo! Yeah, I don't think Looker really appeared in 5th generation outside of that one episode. Never mind, it did show up in that one episode. In those episodes, it showed up in episode N, that's right. So yeah, Mega Evolution Act 4, I don't know if it's going to be related to the next movie, or if they're going to be like separate or whatever. They're just going to do separate stories. How Mega Evolution Act 4 is going to go on to the anime, right? And then it's going to be about Team Flare, Lysander. I don't know what they're planning on. There might be a small chance that this giant creature might actually be a brand new Pokemon. I don't think it's Volcanion, because it's too dissimilar to be Volcanion, even if we were to take in consideration that alternative forms can really change the body structure of a Pokemon. I just don't think it's related to Volcanion. It looks more like Zygarde, and it would honestly make more sense to be Zygarde, especially since Zygarde in the Pokedex it actually says it's going to reveal its secret power. It could be a brand new Pokemon, but I don't think that's any more likely than it being Volcanion, because it's just too big. Even the Coro Coro says that it's a giant Pokemon. And the only Pokemon that would fit that we know is, of course, Zygarde, because Zygarde's like, what, 20 feet or 11 feet or something? It's at least bigger than Volcanion, which is only like 5'7". Yeah, Zygarde is 16 feet already. So yeah, it makes a lot more sense for it to be Zygarde. And we know that the giant creature is definitely going to be in the next movie. So Zygarde seems like it would be a great opportunity. So one of my theories, however, is I'm kind of debating this in the forums, because a lot of people think that Volcanion is just going to be in the next movie, and just about Volcanion in some sort of antagonistic way. And I just don't feel like it makes any sense for Volcanion to be in a movie all by itself. I just don't think it can carry on an entire movie by itself. But I can see how Volcanion could be related. Volcanion is basically the steam Pokemon. It's a steam engine. It basically could supply certain kinds of power, and because it's a fire-water Pokemon, I think it could cause an imbalance in the ecosystem, and it could awaken Zygarde into the fray, and then we'll get like Mega Zygarde or alternative form Zygarde, and then that's what the movie will be about. So that's how Volcanion I can see fitting in the movie, is because it's there causing an imbalance in the ecosystem because of some antagonistic person that kidnapped or basically abducted Volcanion and used its great steam engine powers to power up some sort of weapon that can cause the ecosystem to go out of whack. Or it could just be Volcanion just being angry or upset or whatever, causing an imbalance in the ecosystem by warming up the weathers, causing like lava to come out of the, lava to come, or hot springs to come out of the land, and causing an imbalance that way. But I definitely can see how Volcanion could definitely be related to an ecosystem type movie with Zygarde. But Volcanion by itself, especially with that giant creature, I just don't think Volcanion could get like 20, 30 feet. I know there's Hoopa, I know, but I just think Volcanion is just too as is. See, I think Hoopa makes sense because Hoopa has like this very dark power, and it's really small because it's confined, and then when it's unbound, it's actually its true self. But Volcanion doesn't have that same principle. Yeah, Volcanion is already like 5'7". It's like a quadruped, basically, as a giant ring. You know, at best, we can maybe get like a 7-foot Power Ranger mech type situation for Zygarde. I could see Zygarde changing its form and having its ring or being around its head or whatever, and it looks like some sort of like Power Ranger or mech of some kind that fights evil or something, or even being evil by itself, who knows. But Zygarde, on the other hand, being already 16 feet, that actually makes sense for Zygarde to actually have an alternative form that's a lot bigger. And like I said, in Hoopa makes sense because Hoopa had a confined form, and it also had an unbound form, so that's why it makes sense that Hoopa Unbound would be so much bigger. Let's see, how big is... Yeah, Hoopa is like 20 feet, and Hoopa is 1 foot, and it makes sense because it's unbound. In order for Volcanion to grow like 3 times as big, possibly, or bigger, it would be kind of weird to say that Volcanion's 5'7" form is basically a confined form, and it just doesn't make any sense. If let's just say that they're just basically, I feel like they would just be making up stuff, even if it's in the games, and it probably would be in the games. I just feel like Volcanion, they would just be making up nonsense basically, because let me look at Hoopa's Pokedex real quick. Yeah, okay, well, of course, this came out in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. But basically, it says, in its true form, it possesses a huge amount of power. Legends of its avarice tell how it once carried off an entire castle to gain the treasure hidden within. It is said to be able to seize its desires with its 6 rings and 6 huge arms. With its power sealed, it is transformed into a much smaller form. So, yeah, I realize X and Y didn't have anything, but let's look at Volcanion's Pokedex entry, and basically it just has something. It expels its eternal steam with the arms on its back. It has enough power to blow away a mountain. If it lets out billows of steam and disappears into dense fog, it is said to live in mountains where humans do not tread. Yeah, that just doesn't seem like a Pokemon that would have this great, big, gigantic alternative form. I mean, granted, Hoopa X and Y didn't exactly say that. It gathers things it likes and patches them through its hoop to teleport them to a secret place. This troublemaker spends anything and everything in its faraway place using its loop, which can warp space. Granted, that probably wouldn't have made any sense, but, you know, it's hard to say, you know, but it doesn't really seem like it would be. Volcanion just doesn't seem like it would be having a great form, but that's just my opinion. Feel free to disagree, but it's just my opinion. So, I can see how Volcanion would be in it, but I don't think Volcanion is going to be the main thing of whatever. the main star of it. Because Mega Evolution Act 4 still apparently does not have a release date, I'm expecting an October date. So, yeah, I kind of think I already figured that it was going to be October anyway. And I feel like it's going to be after Olympia 2. So, September's coming up at the end of this month. Oh, yeah. Chessman is coming out this week. Then afterwards, it's the Breakson episode, then the Talonflame episode, then we have a few more episodes. Oh, we have 4. So, yeah, it's definitely going to be in October that Mega Evolution Act 4 is technically going to come out. I mean, I suppose Mega Evolution Act 4 can come out the 24th, but I feel like it's going to be October. And that will mean October. So, like, I think the 1st, 8th, or 15th is going to be relating to the gym battle. So, I'm expecting Mega Evolution Act 4 to happen the 22nd or the 29th. And like I said, I really hope that after Mega Evolution Act 4 starts the arc with Alon in the main series, that'll probably go from the end of October or the beginning of November all the way through December. Of course, that might mean we're not going to get that Pokemon that I suggested we get for Ash. I don't think Ash would get a new Pokemon at this particular point. So it might be until next year that Ash might get a new Pokemon. But that's all depending on the circumstances. I guess we won't know for certain anything until anything. So I think that covers it. Everything that I can think of in terms of the anime. There may have been like new summaries revealed or new information revealed, but right now this doesn't really seem like a good point to do this. I might do a pre-episode speculation in regards to Chespin before the episode comes out. I don't think Chespin is going to evolve. I don't know if I explained this in one of my videos, but I've been told by someone that there is merchandise of Chespin along with Talonflame and Eevee, so I don't think Chespin, if it's going to evolve, is going to evolve next episode. So I think it's just going to be a heavy focus in regards to Chespin. I guess we'll see when I almost forgot that I was going to mention something. But yeah, I don't think, but let me finish this thought first. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to wake up on Thursday morning and see that Clement's bio has been updated with Quilada and Quilladin or whatever. So anyway, yeah, so before I finish this off, I wanted to actually tell you something that actually happened last night. I actually had a dream that there was these new Pokemon revealed. and even a new type revealed. There was like 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10 Pokemon revealed in Coro Coro scan. And this was before I woke up and found out about Zygarde and Mega Evolution Act 4 and the green Pokemon. This was before that. It was like right after I had that dream I woke up and found out about this. But yeah, it was very weird. Torkoal apparently had an evolution, which was hilarious because I made that Mega Evolution Act 4. There was also some other weird pre-evolutions and evolutions and brand new Pokemon. But the thing was, I don't think it was technically Generation 7. I think it was like Generation 6.5 that kind of took place in like a miniature region, but it had its own starters. And basically what was weird is that the starters were basically the same Pokemon but with just different type. I think they were bird Pokemon, and one was like grass, fire, and water basically, and they had like this feather or leaf, I guess, or whatever, hair, and it had the color corresponding to their type. So like the water type bird had a blue thing on it, the grass would have a green, and the fire type would, of course, would have a red or whatever. And the thing was, it was pretty funny because in the dream, if I remember correctly, Ash actually got the grass bird Pokemon. If I'm not mistaken, that was one of the Pokemon he got, and it was hilarious because in the dream I was thinking, oh, isn't that funny? May got the Firebird Pokemon, Dawn got the water bird Pokemon, and now Ash, instead of Serena, is getting the grass bird Pokemon. And not only that, they also added another type. I don't think this is going to happen, by the way. I don't think any of this is going to happen. But it was funny that they had a new type as well, and it was the Dream type. I don't know how that makes any sense, but they introduced a Dream type, and they introduced interesting concepts within that brand new revelation. They added Dream Pokemon. You know, like, I feel like Muna, Musharna, Hypno, and Drowsy probably would be recast as Dream Pokemon. And it was kind of weird because I think this miniature generation or whatever it was, I think it was hinting at the possibility that some things were not real and they were just a dream. I think that's what it was relating to. And it had all these interesting Pokemon. Like I said, Torkoal technically had an evolution, but it was funny because the image of Torkoal's evolution was basically what Cerebi mistook as basically a big giant block that was on fire. And it's like, in here we can kind of see Torkoal's evolution because it actually revealed that Torkoal was going to have a fire steel evolution, but there was really no image. Instead, we got this giant block and it was on fire, and then Cerebi mistook that as Torkoal's evolution. And here we can kind of see Torkoal's evolution right here, this fire steel Pokemon, because it's actually listed within the stats of the particular Coro Coro scan. And I was just looking at this and I was like, dude, that's just a block that's on fire. I was like looking at this very low-res image and I'm like, how is that Torkoal's evolution? It looks nothing like Torkoal. It looks like a giant rectangular, three-dimensional rectangular image block, a stone block, cobblestone block, and it's like got fire on it. It's like, how is that Torkoal's evolution? But yeah, I mean, I think there may have been a little hint that it kind of resembled something similar to what I suggested in my Mega Evolution, what I would like to see, or evolution thing. I think there were some similarities, but it was basically just a block of stone that was on fire. So anyway, I guess that pretty much covers it. That's probably not going to happen, just something interesting. And it was funny that I just woke up after that and there was a Coro of the green Pokemon and stuff. So anyway, I don't know if we're going to get anything in regards to Alon this month. I think I already said that. I think it was last month that we got information on Alon was going to show up in a Pokemon Fan, and I do believe that's on my bi-monthly thing, so it's not going to be until September. So September is going to be a busy month for Pokemon fans because not only are we going to have a lot of information in regards to this green Blobby Pokemon, as well as the new shadow form potentially. We're also going to get information on how Alon and Ash are going to meet, and we're possibly going to get Mega Charizard Y within the anime. Also, there is a fake image going around that it somehow implies that Ash is definitely going to get a Mega Charizard Y. Do not believe it, because that image of Mega Charizard Y is definitely not anime drawn. It's basically some fan drew it or something. Maybe it was like Pokemon World art or something like that. It was and they just attached it. Also, the thing to consider is that I don't know how the Mega Charizard Y relates to Ash. Someone says they can see Ash's glove in it, but I don't see it. But regardless, that is fake. I'm probably not going to show an image because it's no point, so it is fake. So anyway, I think this pretty much covers this particular episode. Thank you for watching. I'm Dustin Benzel, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.